Welcome to this deep dive, and today we're going to be exploring the learning philosophy of Elon Musk.
Sounds good.
We're going to be diving into Musk's own words
Mhm.
about education and
Right.
problem solving, and really how to become a powerful learner.
Yeah.
And, given his track record of success across so many different industries,
He's definitely got a unique perspective.
it's clear that he's got a really interesting perspective on learning that we can all learn from.
Yeah, for sure.
So are you ready to challenge some traditional ideas about education?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's jump right in.
All right.
One of the most striking things I think that Musk has said is that
Yeah.
the value of college education is somewhat overweighted.
Hmm.
And this might seem kind of counterintuitive.
Especially coming from him.
Yeah, coming from someone who clearly values innovation and knowledge.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think if we dig a little deeper into his reasoning, it starts to make sense.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily against learning itself,
Right.
but he's really critical of the way traditional education systems
Yeah. It's just
prioritize degrees
Mm-hmm.
and credentials over actual skills and practical knowledge.
Okay, so more the way we do it.
Yeah, more the way we do it.
Not the learning itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he even went so far as to say
Oh, boy.
that colleges are basically for fun and to prove you can do your chores, but they're not for learning.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a bold statement.
it is a pretty bold statement,
I mean,
and it definitely challenges the conventional view of what college is for.
yeah. Does he have a point, though?
I think so. I mean, what do you think?
I think he's being a little harsh,
Oh, okay.
but maybe there is some truth to that,
Yeah.
you know?
Is he being too harsh, or is there some truth to his critique?
I think there's definitely some truth there. I
Yeah.
mean, you can learn a lot outside of college,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, and Musk's perspective is rooted in this belief
Yeah.
that almost everything can be learned for free if you have the drive and the right resources. Right. He sees the internet as this vast library of knowledge that's accessible to anyone,
Yeah.
and he encourages people to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Now, he does acknowledge
Okay.
that college can demonstrate someone's ability to commit to a long-term project,
Okay.
meet deadlines, and generally get things done.
Right.
And he admits that these qualities are valuable to some employers.
Okay.
But for Musk, the true essence of learning lies beyond the walls of a classroom
Yeah.
and the pursuit of a degree.
Gotcha.
He's much more interested in fostering a love of learning that's driven by curiosity and a desire to solve problems
Right.
and, and a passion for exploring new ideas.
Yeah.
And this leads us to his vision for what education could be.
All right.
Something far more engaging and interactive.
Interesting.
He believes that if we could make education as compelling as a video game,
Oh, wow.
learning would become,
Like gamify it.
gamify it.
Okay.
It would be far more effective and enjoyable.
I like that.
And he's actually put this into practice
Oh, wow.
by creating his own school called Astra.
Astra.
Yeah,
Okay.
meaning to the stars.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's a really fascinating example of how he envisions education differently.
So how's it different?
Well, there are no traditional grade levels at Astra.
Oh, wow.
Instead, the focus is on problem-solving collaboration
Okay.
and tailoring the curriculum to each child's unique interests and abilities.
So very individualized.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's about creating a learning environment that sparks curiosity
Right.
and empowers kids to explore their passions.
Okay, so very different from the typical.
Yeah, very different from the typical classroom.
Yeah.
And he actually used a really interesting analogy
Okay.
to illustrate his point about making education more hands-on and engaging.
New analogies. So I'm interested.
Okay, well, imagine you're teaching someone how an engine works.
All right.
The traditional approach might involve lectures about each individual component.
Okay.
The pistons, the crankshafts, the
Yeah.
valves,
Right. All the parts.
all the parts,
Yeah.
before ever letting the student actually touch the engine itself.
Oh, wow.
But Musk suggests a more effective method would be to start with the engine as a whole
Oh.
and allow the student to take it apart and figure out how each piece fits into the bigger picture.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So learn by doing.
Learn by doing.
Okay.
Yeah. And as they encounter a problem,
Right.
they learn about the specific tools and techniques needed to solve it.
Oh, I see.
A much more intuitive and engaging way to learn
Yeah.
because it directly connects the knowledge to a real-world application.
I like that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
So it's not just about, memorizing facts.
Right.
It's about understanding how things actually work in the real world.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm on board with that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And this approach of learning, by doing figuring things out in the context of a real challenge.
Yeah.
It's a core part of Musk's learning philosophy.
I can see that.
And it ties directly into one of his most powerful mental models.
Which is?
First principles thinking.
First principles thinking?
Have you heard of this before?
I have, yeah.
Okay. So it's all about breaking down complex problems into their most fundamental truths.
Okay.
And building your understanding from there.
So like the building blocks?
Yeah, the building blocks.
Okay.
Instead of reasoning by analogy.
Right.
Or simply copying what others have done.
Don't reinvent the wheel or...
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Or do reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, or you do reinvent the wheel.
Depending on how you're looking at it.
You go back to the basic principles that govern the problem.
Okay.
One of the most famous examples of Musk applying this principle is with battery packs for electric cars.
Okay.
Everyone in the industry just assumed that battery packs were inherently expensive.
Right. They're the expensive part of electric cars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Musk challenged that assumption.
Okay.
He asked, what are batteries actually made of?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And by breaking down the cost of the raw materials.
Like lithium and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lithium, nickel, cobalt.
Okay.
He realized that if Tesla bought those materials directly and engineered their own battery packs, the cost could be drastically reduced.
Oh, wow.
So it was a game changer.
Yeah, I can see that.
That allowed Tesla to create electric cars that were not only high performance, but also affordable to a wider market.
Smart.
Yeah. And this same principle, this commitment to challenging assumptions and building from fundamental truths has been instrumental in SpaceX's success.
Makes sense.
They've been able to dramatically lower the cost of space travel.
Wow.
By applying first principles thinking to every aspect of rocket design and manufacturing.
So he kind of uses it everywhere.
He uses it everywhere.
Okay.
And what's so fascinating about this is that it's not just a technical strategy.
Right.
It's a way of thinking that can be applied to any field, any problem.
Okay, so like how could I use that?
Yeah. So whether you're learning a new language, starting a business, or even trying to improve your cooking skills, first principles thinking can help you break through limitations.
Okay.
And unlock new levels of understanding.
Interesting.
So think about it.
Okay.
What assumptions are you holding on to in your own life or work?
Okay.
What would happen if you challenged those assumptions and went back to the fundamental principles?
Good question.
You might be surprised at the innovative solutions you can come up with.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, along with his emphasis on first principles thinking, Musk also highlights the importance of what he calls an expert data mindset.
Expert data mindset.
Yeah.
Okay.
He believes that the ability to make accurate predictions is a true sign of intelligence.
Oh, okay.
And that requires a deep understanding of data and how to interpret it.
So like being data-driven.
Being data-driven, Musk has this uncanny ability to see patterns and make predictions that often turn out to be true. Like, he predicted the outcome of the 2020 U.S. election.
Oh, really?
Hours before official results.
Wow. Okay.
He emphasizes the importance of thinking critically about the past.
Okay.
Analyzing data.
Yeah.
And constantly refining your understanding of how the world works.
So always learning, basically.
Always learning.
Okay.
Yeah. And he once said, to predict the future, you have to think critically about the past.
Okay.
And constantly try to be less wrong.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Be less wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's interesting here is that this expert data mindset seems to complement his belief in first principles thinking.
Okay, also.
Well, it's like using data analysis to uncover those fundamental truths.
Right.
To refine your understanding of the underlying principles that govern a system.
Interesting.
By combining a deep understanding of the fundamentals with a keen eye for patterns in data.
Yeah.
Musk has been able to make bold decisions and achieve breakthroughs that others thought were impossible.
Think about how this might apply to your own learning and decision-making.
Okay.
Do you actively seek out data to inform your understanding of a topic?
Yeah, good question.
Do you analyze past trends to make better predictions about the future?
Yeah, these are skills that anyone can develop.
Exactly.
And they can be really powerful.
Yeah, and they can be incredibly powerful tools for navigating a world that's constantly changing.
For sure.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
We've explored Musk's critique of traditional education.
Right.
His emphasis on hands-on learning and problem solving, the power of first principles thinking.
Yes.
And his data-driven approach to understanding the world.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
But how do we actually put all of this into practice?
Right. That's the question.
How can we take these abstract ideas and make them actionable in our own lives?
Exactly. Because it sounds great in theory.
Yeah.
But how do we actually do it?
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it?
It is.
It's one thing to admire Elon Musk's achievements and understand his thinking.
Right.
But it's another thing entirely to actually integrate these principles into our own lives.
Yeah, to put it into practice.
To put it in practice.
Yeah.
But here's the exciting part.
Okay.
We can.
We can.
We can. We don't have to build rockets or electric cars to benefit from these mental models.
Okay, good.
Let's take first principles thinking as an example.
Okay.
Instead of just accepting the status quo, the way things are, let's get curious and ask, why is it done this way? Why are we doing it this way?
Okay.
Maybe you're learning a new skill.
Yeah.
And everyone tells you there's only one right method.
Right. The one way to do it.
The one way to do it.
Yeah.
But Musk would encourage us to break that down.
Okay.
What are the fundamental elements of this skill?
Right.
Could there be alternative approaches that work better for you?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like finding your own way.
Finding your own way.
Yep.
And what about that expert data mindset?
Yeah.
We're bombarded with information all the time.
Yeah, constantly.
But how much of it do we actually analyze and question?
Right. That's a good point.
Think about a decision you're facing right now.
Okay.
Could you be seeking out more data to inform your choice? Could you be digging deeper into the past to understand the underlying trends that might influence the future?
So, look for more information, essentially.
Look for more information and really try to think critically
and analyze
about it.
Yeah,
and this is what's so empowering about exploring Musk's ideas.
I can see that.
They challenge us to become more active, more engaged learners.
Be more proactive.
Be more proactive.
Okay.
Yeah, and they remind us that knowledge is a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it's most effective when we know how to use it.
When we know how to use it.
Yeah, so as we wrap up this deep dive into Elon Musk's perspective on learning, I want to leave you with a challenge.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, pick one principle.
One principle.
Whether it's first principles, thinking the expert data mindset, or even his critique of traditional education.
Okay.
How can you apply that principle to your own learning journey this week?
That's a good challenge.
What assumptions can you challenge? What data can you explore? What new approaches to learning can you experiment with?
Good stuff.
Maybe you'll surprise yourself with what you discover.
I like that.
Yeah.